Hello, welcome back to the SCW Wrestling Podcast. This is another special episode with none other than a guest from Limited Edition Pro Wrestling, none other than British Thug, Scott Johns. Scott, are you there, please?
I'm here.
Yeah, so welcome to the podcast. Clearly, we want to ask a few questions and just find out a bit more about you. So is that okay to go ahead with that?
Yeah, crack on.
Okay, so how long have you been a wrestler?
I've been wrestling since I was 17 years old. Back in 2007, I started out and was trained up by the wrestlers Joel Redman and the UK Dominator in 2009. Then in 2011, I went through a pretty bad injury and I was out for 7 years. And then I come back in the summer of last year, and I think I've been tearing the place up and making a name for myself, destroying whoever I want in whatever way.
Okay, so what would you say has been your favourite match of your career?
Favourite match of my career was probably the recent match I've had with against Leo Bryan and Gaz Knox.
Yeah, that was a fantastic match. For anybody that's listening, that took place at the LEP Super Show, and that was a triple threat. Scott came out with a victory with a rather devastating spike pile driver. Are you quite fond of that move?
I've been testing out quite a few things to destroy people. I think that is my favourite so far.
I have to say it's quite devastating. I think you certainly held your own in that. I remember being at that show. You didn't seem to get on very well with the crowd, did you? They kind of annoyed you, didn't they?
Oh, very much.
You look like
people like that just do my head in.
You look like at any moment you could flip, which was a bit worrying. I was in the crowd. I was kind of worried.
Yeah, trust me. You don't want me to be angry at them.
Okay, no problem. What we'll do, that's been your favourite match. Have you wrestled sort of just in LEP or outside LEP? Where else have you wrestled, if you have?
Back in earlier career, I've wrestled for LDN. I've wrestled IPW UK, DWA when that first got up and running. I was one of the originators of PWA in Plymouth. And I've wrestled for other companies in Southampton, East Sussex, and Southampton.
Oh, brilliant. So you've been all across the country. I was going to say, what would you say makes wrestling in the Southwest so much better than wrestling in the rest of the country, would you say, in your opinion?
Pretty much just we're more hard-hitting, more entertaining. I mean, you got characters like Jason King, pretty much gets the crowd going. You got people like myself, people like Joel Redman, who's been pretty much all over the world as well. Eddie Ryan is another one who's been all over the world. It just shows that people from Plymouth and the Southwest just seems to be more entertaining than anywhere around the country.
Oh, brilliant. No, I'd agree with that. I think we definitely have some fantastic wrestlers within the Southwest. What I would say, Scott, so you're obviously a wrestler. Were you ever a fan of the business growing up or anything like that?
Yes, I was. My first match I ever saw was Mick Foley versus The Undertaker at King of the Ring. The infamous Hell in a Cell match.
Wow, yeah, that match was outstanding. The amount of danger and risk in that. What did you like about the match? What sort of element attracted you to the business from that match?
I think it was just the amount of damage that was done to the Undertaker and Mankind, especially Mankind at the time. And how he just put his own body on the risk just to pretty much entertain the crowd.
Yeah, no, clearly, what I thought was quite refreshing about that match was Undertaker and Mankind have had a massive feud, like back in '96. They'd had so many matches in various gimmicks and various sort of different stipulations and stuff, and just to see them come out with something different in the Hell in a Cell. There'd been various Hell in a Cell matches before that, but to see what happened in that match, I don't think there's been a Hell in a Cell match as good as that, I'd say, since then. But that's so is that sort of hardcore style sort of always something you wanted to portray in the business or do in the business?
Yes, I started off doing hardcore when I first come in, doing barbed wire, boards, thumbtacks, and other precarious bits and pieces.
Wow, dangerous. I think. Do you think sort of hardcore wrestling's really missing in wrestling today. Like, there doesn't seem to be so much. Like in the old days, you used to have like FMW from Japan, Combat Zone Wrestling, stuff like that. But do you think hardcore wrestling deserves to come back?
I do personally think it does, yes, because it's a different element to what you see and what is portrayed on TV or on other shows as well. It's definitely something different that needs to come back, because it hasn't really been that portrayed that much since, correct me if I'm wrong, 2006, 2008.
Yeah, clearly WWE don't offer anything really hardcore anymore. TNA sort of do a bit of hardcore now and then with Abyss. He does barbed wire boards occasionally, but it's never been to the extreme that Japan, like the original King of Deathmatch tournament with Mick Foley, stuff like that. If I may ask you, who was your sort of favourite wrestlers growing up?
Favourite wrestlers were The Undertaker. I was quite fond of him. Rob Van Dam, Dynamite Kid, and British Bulldog, obviously because of the British heritage there. And from Japan, people like, just trying to think of who it is now, Shadow WX.
Oh, okay. No, cool. That's awesome. I was going to say, who's sort of some of your favourite people in Southwest Wrestling you've wrestled? Who say sort of some of your favourite people are to wrestle?
I don't like a lot of people in the Southwest, to be honest.
What don't you like about them? Let's go into details now.
It's just people that get in my way to what I want to do. My goals: become champion.
Okay, so what belt do you want to win? What belt would you like to win? Would you like to win a hardcore belt, an academy belt, or do you want the heavyweight title?
If hardcore was brought back in, definitely hardcore. But until that happens, world championship, heavyweight belt.
And so, if that's the way you want to go down or go towards that route, how would you like to see yourself getting there? Who do you think would be your main sort of threat, and how do you think you can elevate yourself to that level?
I probably would have said Jago at the time, but I've already beaten him, so he's out of the picture. I would more than likely say someone like Maximo Jr., because I've never managed to beat him. He's always snuck it in the last second. I want to have Jason King in a hardcore match, because I know I want to destroy his pretty little face.
Okay, so let's elaborate. You dropped the sort of a challenge and a threat there. Why Jason King? What's so wrong with Jason King?
I think he's just portraying himself to be something he's not.
I guess you're not a fan of him sort of high-fiving the crowd, getting the crowd going, and all this lot. I guess that's a polar opposite of you.
Definitely.
So is Jason Kim one of your main enemies in LEP, or is there anybody else you feel that sort of you don't really like or not to your taste?
To my taste is Vinny Clay, because I know he's been saying a lot of dirt, to put it politely, calling me a part-timer, and I'm a dangerous attribute to wrestling, because well, as I said earlier, I was out for a number of years.
Let's before you go into Vinny Clay, let's just elaborate. What was your injury and how did it happen? What did you do?
I was in a match with Joel Redman, and it was for the DWA trophy at the time. I took a move and basically it knocked me for 6, and end of the night I went to the hospital, and it turned out I had torn muscles in my neck and shoulder, which I still suffer with, and I had 2 bruised vertebrae.
Wow, that's just the total polar opposite side of wrestling, isn't it? It shows you just how dangerous it is. And Joel Redman, what a great performer. He's obviously been everywhere, as you said, a former NXT champion as Oliver Gray as well. Did that not put you off sort of standing in the business, sort of getting an injury? Is it just part of sort of the risk you take every time you step in the ring almost?
It definitely did put me off a little bit, but after that I did wrestle again. Did wrestle 2 separate matches. One was for DWA and another one was for PWA at the time, and I think I just re-injured my shoulder, and I just needed some time out to try and heal.
Yeah, are you feeling like you said you still suffer slightly? Are you feeling a lot better now? Like you can go back to your best?
I'm always ready to put my body on the line again to win matches.
That sounds like you're very committed. And let's go back onto it. So you said Vinny Clay. Well, what don't you like about Vinny Clay? Let's just get that out there.
Again, he's arrogant. He's definitely someone that needs to be put in his place.
Okay, I'm going to ask the $1 million question now. So clearly, with what's going on with Vinny Clay in LEP, he's under this constant threat from Dead Man's Hand. I don't really want to mention them in case they come into this podcast. They do have a habit of doing stuff like that. What did you make of Jago turning his back on Vinny Clay? Did that surprise you?
It did surprise me because basically Dead Man's Hands are a bunch of punks who like to go they hide behind masks. They don't show their true faces until the reject, very reject, shown himself. And I know someone else has been unmasked as well after Jago, and it just shows that they can't do things on their own. They've always got to have some sort of way to pretty much win matches, and it just shows that they're just scared.
I wouldn't say that too loud. I was going to say, what do you make of what LEP have done to try and stop them so far? LEP, unfortunately, haven't done a massive amount to try and stop Dead Man's Hand. Dead Man's Hand seems to come and go as please, which is rather worrying, I think, for anybody in LEP that's not with them, so to speak.
Well, all I got to say to that is just bring it.
I wouldn't.
I'm not afraid of them.
Fair play. You're much more braver than I would be. But no, clearly it's rather shocking. Hopefully LEP will gain control of the situation and be rid of this Dead Man's Hand. Clearly at the last show, Draven was unmasked, which is the person you said. Obviously it's another person. Clearly they are all masked and they are here for a reason. Nobody knows the reason as of yet. But no, do you think you'll sort of have any run-ins with them? What would you do if they sort of try and get involved with your business? They seem to target certain people though. I don't think maybe you'd fit that sort of target.
If they ever try coming to me, just bring it. I'd love to put them in their place.
Fair play. So when can we see you next at LEP then?
I will be at LEP on the 22nd of July at the Windmill Centre in Torquay.
Oh, okay. So back on the 22nd, clearly you're coming off a fantastic win in the triple threat. Where do you see yourself doing on that show? Do you have sort of a target? Anything lined up? Is there somebody you particularly want to take out, or something you want to do? I know you probably don't want to say it on the podcast, to be fair, but is there anything you sort of could see yourself doing on that show?
Anyone who's got anything bad to say against me or try and stop me for what I want to get at, just bring it.
Okay, so that's is that to the whole of the LEP roster? That's not just to one person, I'm guessing.
That's to everyone.
Okay, no problem. I was going to ask, what have you made of the up-and-coming LEP inaugural tag team tournament? What do you think of that? And are you tempted to enter if you can find a partner?
I won't need a partner. I could do that all by myself.
So you'd enter it as a singles wrestler, basically?
Is that a hint of hysterical in your voice that I hear?
I just think it's a bit... You are a fantastic talent in terms of the danger you put yourself in. I'll give you that, and the devastating moves you perform as delivered at the Super Show. It's a bit much, isn't it? Like 2 versus 1. It's too much odds.
Well, depends. If you're someone like me, you could take anyone on if you have the drive.
Have you ever thought about sort of aligning yourself with a stable or anything like that, or is it just a one-man band, so to speak?
I don't need anyone.
You don't need anyone at all. You're that confident in your own actions.
Oh, definitely.
I was going to say, clearly LEP at the moment, they're going from strength to strength. Where would you like to see yourself in the next sort of 12 months?
Running as the world champion and hopefully the longest reigning world champion.
Yeah, I think it's great to have goals. Do you think you realistically can achieve them?
Oh, definitely.
The only thing I would say is that if you let the crowd distract you, that can be your only weakness from what I saw. You seem pretty formidable at the Super Show, but yet the crowd seem to target you. Although you got the victory, I think you need to sort of ignore the crowd really to be able to sort of get to that level. You can't let the crowd control. It's almost like the crowd were playing you. You weren't playing the crowd. British flag, I have to say that.
Yes, they do get on my nerves quite a bit.
Why do you hate them so much?
They don't know what they're messing with. And all the kids think that they know better. Just step in the ring with me and I'll show them who's better.
I was going to say, so you're back in July. Are you looking forward to coming back again to LEP, or sort of do you have a message for anybody sort of that's good that you might attack or anything like that?
If anyone has any problems with me, Vinny Clay, Jason King, even Danny Walsh, bring it.
Yeah, that's a very open challenge there. So is it just LEP that you're sort of focusing on, or are you just do you want to target the whole of the Southwest?
anyone in the Southwest. If you think you're better than me, please prove it.
Fair play. You're laying the gauntlet there, putting it down there. What I would say, I'm going to ask another question now. So, clearly this WWE UK tournament, UK belt and stuff like that, none of the wrestlers are out of the Southwest. Why do you think that the Southwest is so overlooked for wrestlers? Because we've got so many fantastic talents here.
Pretty much because people like that, they've wrestled on TV and they think that they're better than the Southwest, and no one from the Southwest has actually had enough guts to go on to a show like that. If WWE approached me, I would have gone it straight away, and I would have won the whole thing.
Oh, arrogance! I think I'd quite like to see you face someone like Martin Stone. That would have been a good match. But what do you predict then, sort of for LEP in the next 12 months? What do you think will happen there?
I think we'll grow and we'll get more popular. And to be honest, aim for the stars.
Brilliant. I'm going to sort of be a bit controversial now. I'm going to ask. So, Vinny Clay obviously nicknamed you part-time. Will you ever? Is that sort of a fair description, or is that just totally inaccurate?
If he'd gone through what I did, he would be exactly the same. I'm definitely not dangerous, and I do deserve where I am. I do deserve a title shot, and if he's going to be in my way, I'm going to destroy him as well.
Oh, God. Okay, so you're clearly taking a massive offence to what he said.
Definitely.
Is it just Vinny Clay and Jason King, or is there sort of anybody else in LEP that particularly gets on your nerves?
Like I said, anyone. Everyone gets on my nerves.
Okay, so in July, the next LEP show, obviously it's going to be a big return. I guess the rest of the roster better be on lockdown.
Definitely.
Excellent. I was going to say, is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap this up tonight?
Again, if anyone has any problems with me, thinks I'm dangerous, step in the ring with me and I'll show you how dangerous I can be.
Oh, fair comment. I really appreciate you coming on. Before I let you go, I'm going to say thank you for your time coming on. For anybody that is listening, does want to go to the next LEP show, LEP are running a show in Newton Abbot at the Newton Abbot College, and that's going to be taking place sometime in June. And you can get your tickets. Tickets are available on the LEP website, which is lepwrestling.co.uk/events. I strongly recommend everyone to check out. Clearly, LEP at the moment is going from strength to strength. But I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Scott, and I really hope I haven't upset you.
Very slightly.
Oh, okay. Maybe next time we'll get on better foot. Okay? Thank you for listening. This has been the SCW Wrestling Podcast. I think we better end that there. Thank you.